Hey everybody, hey, welcome to what's going to be an incredible call. We're talking about what people do for weight loss. Right? At any given time, we have, I think, millions of people who are wanting to lose weight, who recognize they have anywhere from a few pounds, maybe 25 pounds, 50 pounds, or even more that they want to lose. The beginning of the year, there's a big, the number one resolution is to lose weight, get in better health. um, because people want to feel better. They want to feel good in their skin, in their clothes, out in the public. Uh, we know that having more weight has impact on our health, on our blood sugar, our blood pressure, and our self-esteem as well. Okay. It has implications or impact on our employment, how we're perceived by others, so many ways. But what are people doing about this? So you've got at least two different approaches. You have a medical approach and drugs that people are using, but there's also a natural approach. So today we're going to be talking about the different approaches and options, what's happening. I'm going to give a kind of bounce both sides of the coin or the equation, and share some things with you that will have impact for you, your loved ones, people who are interested in losing weight, controlling their blood sugar level, improving their numbers, improving their health overall. What can we do? What options are out there? Um, what are some mistakes and problems that that people are making, and what are the I say better alternatives or safer, healthier, affordable alternatives and solutions. Okay? Just because something's popular, just because something is out there or celebrities are endorsing it, doesn't mean that it's good, right? Okay, so I am joined by someone that you may be familiar with if you've seen some of our, broadcasts and one of our most, popular calls. Her name is Kendra Patton. Kendra Patton is a Detroit native, um, born and bred here. However, she also went to school, away. She's a physician assistant, also known as a PA. So she's been in the medical field for a number of years. She's worked with doctors and hospitals and clinics, and she's taught at Stanford University. She is young, energetic, knowledgeable. She knows about the drugs more, even more so and more intimately than I do. And so she's going to help me to give a balanced perspective and provide some information on these drugs, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, etc. And um, and because she's a PA and she's holistically oriented and trained, we're going to get a balance in terms of perspective and some options that we want to share with you. So we're going to say what the problem is, what people are doing about it, what are the alternatives, and what next steps you may take. So enjoy. So bringing on, or you see on screen here, Kendra Patton. Hello, and how are you doing
Hi,
today?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for having me. Dr. Brown, this topic is so important because I know a lot of people have heard by this point, heard of Ozempic or Wegovy, Mounjaro, these medications that are now marketed for weight loss. And
Mm-hmm.
personally, even in my family, I have family members who have expressed to me that they are considering starting the medications or they may have started them already. So
Okay.
if you many people may be interested in this medication. So I'm glad that we're talking about it in this way because we have to explore both sides of what are the risks, what are the benefits, and are there other alternatives. So I'm really excited to have this conversation. It needs to be discussed,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Yes.
from a Western medicine standpoint and a holistic standpoint. And that's what we're doing today. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. And so first, how big is the weight loss? So actually in this, it's weight loss, it's diabetes, it's um it's the ramifications to our health. It's the risks that we're really addressing.
Right.
How big are these problems anyway? Yeah, you've seen a number of patients, and how big are these problems, and particularly I'll say in communities of color and in underserved communities.
Right. So that's a really great question. So, with the reason why these medications are so popular,
Mm-hmm.
is I see them for two reasons. It was marketed initially, these medications, Ozempic and all the GLP-1 class. It was marketed for type 2 diabetes, actually.
Okay.
As we know, many of us know, especially in the melanated, BIPOC, African American communities, type 2 diabetes is a huge issue for our communities. So the issues are really important of why Ozempic is now very, very popular, and it has been helping certain populations to lower their blood sugar. So diabetes, pre-diabetes, and also now the way that it's been marketed is for weight loss. And so we know that
Mhm.
when people have obesity at different levels and being overweight, that just puts you at such high risk for diabetes, heart disease, cancer, autoimmune disease. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I think
Mhm.
we know that in our communities, obesity and type 2 diabetes are really a cause of a lot of other different complications why people end up spending time and money, millions and millions, if not billions of dollars in the United States on hospital visits, medications,
Mhm.
work. So the issues are very important. Now, the thing about Ozempic and those types of medications is you don't get something for nothing, right? When you take these medications, there are consequences on the other side. And as these medications have gotten more popular, many studies have come out to show there's so many side effects. Some that are, benign, you can deal with it, maybe you can push through, or maybe you don't even realize they're happening to you because you don't feel any side effects, but there are some serious and severe side effects for long-term use of this medication.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. So on one hand, doctors are prescribing it. People are following their doctor's advice, taking the medication to address the bigger problem, the obesity, the blood sugar, et cetera, the high blood pressure, the other things that come along with that. And so they take the medication, but the medication, some of these side effects can be, as you say, somewhat benign, like nausea. Some people
Right.
might just get nauseous. Okay. What are some of the other side effects that people are getting as a result? There's some people, yeah, I would suspect they may not attribute it to the drug, or they may say, wow, I wasn't getting this, or they may be aware of it.
Right.
So nausea, um, vomiting, I understand is another.
Yes. So some of the more common side effects, because of how the medication works, we call it the mechanism of action, it
Okay.
slows down the gastric emptying. So it really
Mm-hmm.
just makes the digestive process slower, and
Okay.
specifically in people's stomach. So it
Mm-hmm.
slows down the emptying from the food that you digest from going from your stomach into your small intestines. So it's
Okay.
really making you fuller longer. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the mechanism. So it's not doing anything that is like magical. It's not doing anything that's like reducing fat cells. It's not doing any of those types of other mechanisms for losing weight. So it's
Mm-hmm.
making you feel fuller longer so you're not eating as much. It's really more of a pharmaceutical calorie restriction, right?
Oh,
All
okay.
know that when you eat less calories, you lose weight. And so this is one way to eat less calories because you're feeling fuller longer.
Okay.
Because the food that you've digested or you're digesting is sitting in your stomach longer, that's
Mm-hmm.
why some of the side effects are nausea, like you mentioned. It can
Mm-hmm.
be vomiting, constipation. They're more digestive related symptoms. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some people also feel dizzy or headaches, or you can have an allergic reaction. That's kind of a blanket statement for every medication, right? Anybody can be allergic to it.
Okay.
But the more serious complications are seen
Mm-hmm.
when now that the food is in the digestive tract longer, people are having issues with their gallbladder. So
Mm-hmm.
gallbladder sludge, which is like a buildup and cakiness of bile in the gallbladder,
Mm-hmm.
gallstones, and we're seeing issues with people have pancreatitis, which is when people have inflammation of the pancreas.
Okay.
Because this medication does help to improve the insulin secretion, because remember, this medication was marketed to people with type 2 diabetes. So
Mm-hmm.
it has a big play in the pancreas, which is where our insulin is produced. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are experiencing some form of pancreatitis, which can over time lead to pancreatic cancer, which is one of
Mm.
the most deadly, aggressive types of cancer that we've seen. Many people
Yeah.
have heard of Steve Jobs and how he passed. That's the way that he passed. And even Alec Trebek passed of pancreatic cancer.
Okay.
Other
And
types of cancers we
yeah. And another problem with that is that typically by the time someone is diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, it's too late.
it's
That's
really
this that's
severe.
not one that they typically catch early or
Right.
that has a high rate of survivability.
Right.
Right.
It's one of those very aggressive types of cancer, as
Mm-hmm.
well as the other type of cancer that we've seen in studies is thyroid cancer. So our
Mm-hmm.
thyroid is a gland that's located right here over our voice box.
Okay.
And we've seen thyroid cancer, other things that are not cancer related. I know we jump right to cancer. Okay. There's other things.
Well, you cover digestive,
I did. I went from here to
digestive,
here.
and
So
okay,
now
there
let's
you
go
go.
in the middle, like some
All
of the
right.
other side effects. Is dehydration, because it can
Mm-hmm.
affect the kidneys. So because that the all the food is in the stomach, some people don't drink water because they feel full. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure if you do take this medication, you're drinking plenty of water and making sure you are getting your electrolytes in. So potassium, sodium, things like that. It
Mm-hmm.
also can cause issues with your retina in the back of your eye, can
Mm-hmm.
cause vision issues, and some people have reported blindness from
Okay.
Ozempic, going blind,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
heart problems, and those are sort of the bigger, more concerning side effects that people have reported when taking this medication. And it doesn't even have to be for years and years. We're seeing some
Mm-hmm.
people report these side effects even after just months of taking them.
Okay. So on one hand, you're going to lose the weight. You chances are you're going to lose the weight because you're going to slow down the process of digestion. So let's, in um, so people really get that. So let's say they typically, and they have a lot of these guides that says if you eat fruit or vegetables or this or that, it's going to take this is how long it's going to take for your body to digest it. So let's say it normally would take 2 to 3 hours to digest something in particular. If it slows that down and you feel fuller, let's say it takes 4 hours or 6 hours instead of taking the 2 to 3, it's
Right,
slowing that process down substantially. And that's how it works. So it's
right,
kind of fooling the body to think, okay, well, you're still full, you're not hungry. And so they probably won't go to the next meal that soon. Right. So that's just like, that's how that works now. And so people are going to lose weight because it's going to slow down. Now, here's something else that is less than cancer, but still significant is constipation.
hmm
Is it people can get in constipation can be it's a little, a little sluggish. They didn't go today or they didn't go like they normally would, but it can also be severe
yeah,
as well. In fact, when I put the post up, one of my former students you shared with me and said, she was so backed up. She was in crisis and thought, she was going to die. I mean, so some people, uh, um, for some people, they might think I just didn't go today, and that's constipation. For some people, if it can be days, weeks, or much longer, and that puts them at risk as well. Okay.
Yes, and I'm glad, Dr. Brown, you talked about constipation specifically, because
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, when they become constipated, first, I don't know that many people know what constipation is, right?
Okay.
So, constipation is a few different ways to express it.
Okay.
Number one, we should be having 2 to 3 bowel movements every single day. So, if
Mm-hmm.
you're not having at least 2 bowel movements, even up to 3, you have some form of constipation. If you're
Okay.
having 1 per day, it's not bad, but you do want to be sure that you're doing things that will help your bowels to move, like eating a lot of fruit. Okay. I know we'll talk about alternatives in a minute, but some people also have constipation when they don't feel like they fully have emptied their bowels. So if you still feel
Okay.
like there's stool there and you haven't emptied it out, that is also a form of constipation. And if
Mm-hmm.
you go, especially people, I see people all the time in the clinic who come in and they're like, oh, I haven't had a bowel movement in like 5 or 6 days. So I just want to pause and land on that, because
Oh
what's
yeah.
happening is if you don't have a bowel movement in that long, that is one of the reasons why people are developing these types of cancers, because now it's all this toxic waste that's
Yeah.
backed up in your system. Your liver,
Mm-hmm.
your organs are trying to figure out what to do with all this waste, and it just recirculates in your body and it slows down your lymphatic system. So when we say constipation, and we kind of say it loosely, like, oh, it's not a severe side effect, it's not severe in that immediately it won't cause issues, but over time it causes
Mm-hmm.
severe issue and can be one of the leading causes of, you know, cancers, severe illness, pancreatitis, all these other things that we're talking about being a severe side effect. But constipation in and of itself can be that first step into those diseases.
Gotcha. Uh, Second leading cause of deaths from cancers is colon cancer or colorectal cancer.
Right.
And yeah, we saw over more than 30 years, we saw a lot of people, a lot of constipation. I mean, 5, 6 days, it wasn't the worst. Sometimes it was weeks, or people had only had bowel eliminations if they took something.
Right.
I mean, so it gets severe, and we shouldn't overlook that. And even if the doctor says, "Oh, whatever is normal for you is normal for you," so a lot of digestive problems can come as a result. Certain cancers can be a risk, and it can put people in crisis as well. Now, I didn't find. Uh, um, those are some of the side effects. Those are some of the risks. Okay. Um, I know there are some deaths that have been even in studies. There have been some deaths of people amongst people who have taken these drugs as well. If it is in my research, they have said, oh, well, they don't know if that's directly related, but if you can't get one, if you can get cancer, you have these digestive problems and such. There are some deaths that result as well. I say people are dying to lose weight. People are doing all types of things that are damaging their health. That leads to, I'll say, if it doesn't kill you right away, shorter lifespan, a decreased quality of health as well. So we can make some other choices. So let's talk about some other things that people did you we finish in terms of the side effects of people having as a matter of taking these drugs.
Yes, those are the major side effects. The more
Okay.
common and then the more serious.
Okay. And so another concern that people have is the cost.
Yes.
Okay. Is one, so we talked about the risk, is the effectiveness and the cost. and because of the method of action, okay, what happens when a person stops taking these drugs?
And that's one of the things that we've seen as well that could be potentially classified as a side effect is that because the mechanism is just holding the food in the stomach longer, when people
Mm-hmm.
come off of the medication, they haven't changed. If you haven't changed anything about your lifestyle or about the way you exercise, the types of foods that you eat, now you're going to be feeling hungrier sooner. And
Okay.
usually people go back to eating the way that they were before, and then they gain the weight right back. And actually, we've seen studies from Emory University that people have gained more weight than
Mm.
they started with. And so
Okay.
that's a really unfortunate thing where I just hope that if people are taking these medications, that they consider that it could potentially be something that your body becomes like addicted to in a way. If you want
Mm.
those same results, not addicted in the fact that you have, you're craving it and you need it, but
Mm-hmm.
if you want the same results and you're not changing anything else, if you stop that medication, you may gain the weight back. So some people, I've heard people that are on this medication, they seem to be okay with it. They're like, well, I'll just take it for life. Some people, like you said, people are dying to lose weight. So they'll do
Yeah.
whatever it takes to stay that slim or to keep the weight loss down. But again, the more you're exposed to this medication, the more likely you are to develop some of those side effects later on in life. So imagine if you're taking this medication for years and years and years, and you have in your family history, there's thyroid cancer or pancreatic cancer or even heart disease, you're putting yourself at that much more risk for developing that, especially because you have a family history of that. So that's
Okay.
another thing as well.
Okay. And here's the thing is that so part of the weight loss journey and concern for some people is that excess weight undermines their health. It
Mm,
impacts blood sugar and blood pressure and all types of things. So, so people generally want to lower their risk factors, improve their quality of life, improve their chances for longevity. So if they're just getting this slower uh, uh, um, stomach emptying, um, are they getting the benefits of, is
mm.
their cholesterol level going lower? Are they lowering their risk factors or not?
That's a really good question. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a lot of studies that point to that. I love that you bring that up. So what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
like that people are losing weight, but is
Mm-hmm.
their blood pressure going down? And is their heart health going up? Is their cholesterol levels going down?
There we
And
go.
I'm not
Are the
exactly
risks going
sure.
down? Okay.
I think that
Yeah.
the risk,
Mhm.
go ahead.
So the car looks great. Guess what? The car looks great. It's been detailed and clean, but the engine, transmission, and the inner workings are still bad.
Right.
Okay. So my contention is that okay, if we don't change our diet, if we're not exercising and doing other things that we normally would do, then our risk factors are not going to go down um, accordingly. So the benefits that are normally attributed to losing weight are not present if you're just fooling the body. It's like, so many people who get these surgeries and things, a lot, many times like, okay, oh, you lost, 50 pounds, you lost 100 pounds. Oh, look, you look so good, but they're not healthier. So if the objective is not just to fit into a smaller casket,
Mm,
okay, then let's do something that allows us to lose the weight, be more conscientious about what we're doing, adopt different habits that are going to contribute to our energy, our longevity, etc. In fact, one of the side effects as well is lack of energy. So some people feel tired, they're not feeling good. So we can feel good in our bodies as well. Now let's go to get to the cost as well. So this can be on prescription, and then some people are getting it off prescription.
yeah.
So can we talk about the cost of this?
Yeah. So the cost now, so we talked about the cost in terms of your body. Now we're going to talk about
Yeah.
the cost terms of your coin, right? So
That's right. Yeah.
with the cost, I've seen people have to pay out of pocket. This is when the insurance will cover it.
Hmm.
People who have great insurance, great coverage. Plus, it's really about why are you taking the medication. So if people
Okay.
have type 2 diabetes, that they're on metformin or some other medication, usually insurance will cover a portion of it. But I
Okay.
have seen people who have this medication cover and they still have to pay hundreds of dollars per month with
Hmm.
excellent coverage. Up
Okay.
to $800, one of my patients was paying per month for Ozempic with
Okay.
insurance. And then I've also seen, because there's some other programs, if you don't have
Hmm.
insurance or if you don't have a lot of prescription coverage,
Okay.
haven't met your deductible, those different reasons. I've seen people able to get coupons for like $200 or $300 per month.
Hmm. Okay.
And that's with the coupon, and that's with like, the doctor saying that you actually do need it. So these medications are really financially expensive.
Very expensive. Okay, so some of the numbers that come up in there, and I checked a couple of different sources. This one I think is a little bit more conservative. So Ozempic, $900 to $1,000 a month without insurance. Okay, and without the coupons or whatever there. So somewhere in there. Now that's a car note, house note, boat note, vacation, whatever. I mean, if we take it in $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. Come on.
Wow.
Okay. Wegovy, $1,300 to $1,400 a month. Mounjaro, $1,000 to $1,200 a month. So you could be spending $16,000 a year just on this medication if you don't have other things going on, if you don't have blood pressure, whatever. Okay, which is more expensive than most gym memberships, most people's food bill. And again, that's a significant impact, uh, and especially with some things that have these risks and side effects and can damage your health over time. Okay,
Yes.
and once you're on, okay, and that is addiction. If you've got to take something and if you're not normal, you can't maintain without it. That's addiction. That's another form of addiction. It's not may not be like these psychotropic drugs or that they're talking so much about, but it's still a form of addiction. Yeah, that's a high cost to pay.
High
Um,
cost. High cost.
yeah. Okay, so the all right, so let's get to some alternatives because some people they may feel kind of beat up on or something, or
No. And this
so,
is this is
yeah.
just from a place of education,
Oh
everybody.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we are here to educate you. This is
yeah.
not from a place of judgment.
People are feeling the love. I'm sure they are. They're yeah. But we want to let people know because here is that if it's not affecting you directly, it's affecting your loved ones, it's affecting people in your circle and around it. And there are a lot of celebrities and people who are out there who are promoting these drugs. You know, once upon a time, that was between you and your doctor. And now when they have all this advertisement again, and you have stars and people say, oh, okay, well, if this person they admire is taking it, it must be okay.
Yes.
Then you have, a lot of people will be influenced by that. So let's not be fooled by celebrity or status or, or whatever. Let's make some choices that are good for us and good for our loved ones. And I think, this as well. If there are natural solutions to common problems, then taking the natural solution is the better option for at least three reasons. One, all drugs have side effects.
Yes.
All drugs do something that undermine our health to some extent. It may just be nausea, vomiting, or it could be cancer and constipation, some other things going on. Two, what's the impact on the environment? Every time we take a drug, it doesn't just go in us, it goes into the environment. It goes into our water and streams and pollutes our lands. So it's poisoning the earth. And then three, it sets a terrible precedent for future generations as well. So if you got children, grands, whatever people around you, and they say, okay, I want to lose weight, I'm gonna take a pill. Oh, I got a headache, I'm gonna take a pill. Oh, and that sort of thing, we end up orienting future generations to be more drug prone in to take a drug for this. And many people have these things in their purses. So they, somebody got a headache, they got a drug for this, they got a drug for that, they got Motrin, they have all these different things. So of course, I'm an advocate for promoting things that are natural, that are safe, that work for the environment. I say it should solve a problem for people, be good for the planet, and it's something we can pass along. A lot of the reasons why I make the choices I do is because that's what my mother and grandmother and them did. And so if we don't bring that forward, then we're going to destroy our health and we're going to destroy the planet, and we're going to get what we get. But and we should be stewards of our body, our temple, and the planet. Okay, so getting into the alternatives, and I know that you've led some people. I've worked with people on weight loss and cleansing and fasting and these things as well. So I want you to share some of the things that you've done and that you've seen in some of the people that you've worked with in terms of detoxifying and losing weight.
Yes, thank you so much. This is a huge passion of mine. I think this is where a lot of our passions overlap. Dr. Brown, like really helping people.
Mm-hmm.
I would just want to preface that my goal for most people that I work with, whether it be in the clinic or in the holistic side of my practice,
Mm-hmm.
my goal is never top priority weight loss. That's for them. I know that most people are attracted to me and my programs because they will lose weight and that's what they want. And that is
Okay.
a fantastic goal. I think that people who want to lose weight, if you're feeling that urge to lose weight, that is actually a good sign that you are
Mm-hmm.
intuitive with your body, that you're listening to your body, and your body is telling you that you want to make changes and that you need to make changes. For me,
Okay.
in all of my programs and how I orient myself is that my goal for people is to be the healthiest version of themselves.
All right.
Period. Period. In that
Okay.
process, you will lose weight. Okay.
Okay.
So like that's how I try to orient people of my goal for you is I'm going to make you as healthy as possible. We're going to reduce inflammation. We're going
Mm-hmm.
to add in a lot of really nutritiously dense foods. This is not a diet. I don't really put people on diets at all. I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
diets are sustainable, but
Okay.
we make it a lifestyle and we tweak things, we change things, and then people are passing parasites, they are passing toxins, they're reducing waste, and they lose weight because now they can get rid of all of these years and years of toxins that they have been holding on to in their GI system because they've been constipated. For example, they might have been constipated for years, and so now we're releasing
Oh
all those.
yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to kind of lay that foundation. But
Okay.
I really would like people to consider when you're losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they are or if they're on their weight loss journey,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you have been doing so many different things throughout the years, right? Like the Atkins diet, Jenny
Okay.
Craig, medical weight loss, that
Yeah.
it can be challenging. I do want to, I see you. I see you. Those people who
Yeah.
have struggling for years and years and years to lose weight. That's why,
Yeah.
for me, the number one thing that I recommend is that you get some sort of accountability partner. Now, whether
Mm-hmm.
that be a nutritionist, a
Uh-huh.
coach, a
Okay.
personal trainer,
Okay.
look at the greats. The greats, like I always think of LeBron James and Serena Williams when I think of greats.
Hey,
They are,
the greats have coaches. Typically, if okay, so for those, I think what you're saying too is for those people who feel they've tried everything,
yes,
okay, and they're wondering, is there an end in sight, or do I just, say, throw up my hands and take the drug or something? One, if they get a coach, if they if they want to go someplace they haven't gone, they need to find a different path. Coaching is important. Okay, diet is important. So what we eat is vitally important. And as we're doing this, I'm glad you mentioned that, for example, the toxicity, the glyphosate, the things they're spraying on the food and what's in the food is impacting our health in so many different ways. So some people, when they change what they eat and they lower their toxic load, then many of the symptoms, many of the health problems that they have end up going away as well.
Yes,
Okay. So
absolutely.
coaching, diet, what else would be in there?
So
And I would
coaching,
put it,
so
and I would put in physical activity as well. And
absolutely.
people and anybody who sees me online, they know that I'm into the physical activity. I'm going to be at the gym. I'm going to be running. I'm
Yes.
going to be doing something. We're not nearly active enough. Being a couch potato is problematic as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and when we say diet, it doesn't mean that you have to be on a diet. It's just overall, what types of foods are you eating?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I always recommend, those who know me, you all know I'm always telling you to eat some fruit. Okay, eat some fruit. That's going to help with constipation. It's going to help with your
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
natural detox pathways, which are your liver, your colon, your kidneys, your
Uh-huh.
so eat fruit, especially the first 6 hours of the day. And then if you can get a
Oh.
coach or some sort of
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's going to hold you accountable, but it doesn't have to be a coach. Maybe it's somebody at work. Maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's a cousin or a friend that
Okay.
you can just call up and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I will call you after I do that, or do you want to come with me?"
Okay. Okay.
So many studies have shown that when people have an accountability partner, they're more likely to stick to their plan, especially when they're letting them know and keeping them updated. Um,
Okay.
and
Accounting.
of course,
Okay. I want to jump in here to a little bit too.
yes,
Sleep.
yes,
Sleep, 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 sleep. There's so many people I know, they're sleep deprived, they're not getting the rest. That's vitally important. Your sleep hygiene or your sleep regimen is
yes,
vitally important as well. So we got what we eat, we have regular
yes.
physical activity, we have how even how we're eating things. So our choices, sleep
And
is
yes,
important too.
sleep is so, especially with nowadays, we have all these the blue lights. So if you're having issues with sleeping, I recommend like no screens for 1 hour before you go to bed.
Yeah.
A really great way to turn off all of the your basically turn off your brain and wake up the melatonin that your body naturally produces.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing is stress management. Now, stress is one of the triggers for every single disease. And it is, I know we say stress like it's so easy to turn off and turn on like it's a light switch. I get it. It's a lot of levels to why people are stressed out. But if you have some sort of routines that you enjoy around stress, whether that can be breath work. I love breath work because not only are you calming your nervous system down, you are detoxing your lungs every time you intentionally breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Also, meditation and
Okay.
yoga.
Okay.
So, meditation is good for your spiritual hygiene, it's good for your mental health, it's good for your emotional health, and to give your brain a break when you
Mm-hmm.
are going throughout your day and we're constantly thinking, thinking, thinking. It's a way to kind of clean up our brain.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, everybody's stress management will look a little bit different. What
Okay.
brings you joy? What
Okay.
brings you joy? We should not be like spending so much time away from those things. Like for me, what brings me joy is going out in nature and going on a walk.
Mm-hmm.
So try to incorporate that every day. Like just go outside. That's one of the reasons I love you all, Detroiters. I love y'all. But I do live in California now because I'm like, I need to get outside. I need some sunlight. I like
Yeah.
there because especially in parts of the world and in the country, seasonal affective disorder is real. Okay.
Yes, it is.
So
Yes.
people right now, especially in these long winter months, we're in February and we're like,
Uh-huh.
when spring coming? I get it. So even if you want to take like 5 or 10 minutes to go outside, even if it's cold, that fresh air does help to reduce your cortisol levels and it helps with
Uh-huh.
your hormone levels and helps with stress.
Okay. So there are people who absolutely are going to say, "Hey, I'm on board with that. I'm looking for some ways of doing this." Okay, and here's the other part. I'm just going to reemphasize something you shared before anyway. Is staying hydrated as well. And that's drinking water and not just juices or coffee or some other stuff, but staying hydrated as well. So guess what? So having accountability partner, coaching, watching what we eat, when we eat it, being more active in those types of things. These things are geared to improve the quality of our life, improve the numbers that we have, whether it's cholesterol, heart risk, decrease the risk of cancers and other ailments, and improve our mental state, reducing the stress, making us feel good as well as looking good. Okay. So for those people who are interested, now this is what's happening, and this will be a first, but we are partnering and on sharing a journey for people who want to lose weight. So we want to know, for the people who are on the call listening in, are going to see this video. If you're interested in taking the next step, and we're looking at a couple things. That's one, having, for example, a challenge for a period of time. Okay. So there's some people maybe got 10 pounds or something like that, and a challenge that will go on for a week or two maybe what you need to do to kickstart. Otherwise, we're going to have and there'll be a longer opportunity for people who have more weight to lose, who want to be guided through this. Here's what's going on. I've got a lot of experience in the area, okay, personally and professionally. And you've got a physician assistant here who's worked with doctors. And so we got the medical side, we got the holistic side, we got the 1-2 combination here. So if you're interested, you need to get in touch with us. You need to tag us things. There's some people may have registered through Zoom, but you can contact us through naturopathictraining@gmail.com, naturopathictraining@gmail.com. My folks are putting this in the chats and in there as well. You could also comment on the video in the post or something, but one way or the other, we want you to get in touch with us so we can lay out this program for you with cutting edge, scientifically proven, beneficial supports that won't cost you $1,000 a month. Okay. Well, then again, if people want to pay $1,000, maybe we should no, but it won't cost you $1,000 a month. It'll be it'll help you get to your goal affordably, with some sanity. We've got ways to customize eating plans for people as well. You're not just going to get a cookie cutter script or something, or dietary plan. Eat this, don't eat that. We're going to customize something. We'll have a really good program for you to get you to your goal, where you'll have the coaching and the counseling. You'll have reference. Now, I'll say this: Kendra isn't going to be your doctor. Okay, you can still consult with your doctor, make sure that's okay. But she does have a strong, she got a medical background. She's again a physician assistant. Okay, but we're gonna design some things that will help you individually. And guess what? In the challenge, or in the next 3 to 6 months or so, you're gonna get results. You commit to this, you do it consistently. Don't let the holidays and all that and the birthdays and celebrations get in the way. If you're committed to this, we're going to commit to you and have a plan that will work. So just contact us, naturopathictraining@gmail.com. And my page is Jesse R. Brown on Facebook. We'll get you to me. Some people are connected on Holistic Training Institute, but either through the social media or email, reach out. And as we go along as well, we'll make some announcements as well. Stay tuned, follow, like, and all that. And we're going to make something happen for you, because the risks that people are taking in terms of their health and well-being, they're too high. And if you apply a different approach, a holistic approach, something that's safe, the same, and affordable, it'll be good for you and those people around you as well. Your life won't be the same. COVID had a major impact. Okay. And for some of you know my story. In 2020, I lost about 40 pounds, 37, close to 40 pounds. And I've kept it off. This will be 5 years for me. I know how to lose weight and keep it off. And some people say, you were never that big. I was heavier than I needed to be. It didn't show that much, and I was still working out, but I still had some pounds to lose, and my health was decent, pretty darn good for most. It's gotten even better, even in my more mature years. We can do it. Don't let people tell you that your age or genetics or whatever is working against you now. If you follow principles, the principles will work. Okay. So reach out. We're going to wrap this up, but also look forward to some other calls that we'll have as well. We got so much more to share. Anything you want to say in wrapping this up?
Yes, yes. I just want to acknowledge that it's only February and this has
Mm-hmm.
already been a long year, right? Like
Yeah.
2025 has come in so hot. Literally, there are fires in LA. It was snowing in Florida, for goodness sake, and New Orleans. We cannot control what's outside of us. We have a new president, an old new president, whatever we want to say. And so all these policies have just like ripped the carpet from up underneath us. And a lot of people right now are feeling chaotic and uncertain. This world right now, we can't really predict what's going on. And one thing that I've learned in my journey, especially through COVID, like you just mentioned, is like we cannot control what's outside of us at all. We can't control the government. We can't control politics. We can't control policies. We can't even control our children. I have a 5-year old and she, I do my best, but I can't even control my children. But what can you control? You can control your body. You can control how you treat your body, how you love on yourself, how you invest in yourself with time, with energy, with effort. That's what we can control. And so what we're saying is when you have somebody on your team, when you have somebody rooting for you, when you have somebody that really outlines the things that align with you personally, then you're able to control your health. Because if we're not healthy, we can't think about really anything else that's going on. We can't think about that vacation that we want to take. We can't think about, the outfit that we want to wear or the party that we want to go to if we're laying up in the hospital or if we are constantly at the doctor's office, if we can't even, get up out of bed because we're in so much pain. And so I
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of people, even young people. We see even Irv Gotti, for example, he just passed recently. Rest in peace to him. He had his second stroke in his
Mm-hmm.
50s. Dwayne Wade was just diagnosed with kidney cancer. And this is a top athlete and
Yeah.
he's in his 40s. It's
We're getting
not.
sicker sooner and dying faster, right?
Yes. So my offer to people is to really think about what type of older adult do you want to be? How do you want to feel when you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s? And so what we do now in our life, how we treat our bodies now is really determining what type of life do we want now? What type of life do we want in the future? And as Dr. Brown mentioned, what type of life do we want for the generations that are coming behind us? Because we are the example. We are setting that example. We really are like paving this way and healing generations before us and after us. And the time is now. We don't have time to wait. We don't need to wait till 2026 or 2027. Lord knows what's in store for us then in the world. I'm not sure. But what we can do is make these changes right now.
Thank you. And on that note, we're going to close out this program. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. And I guess I'm here as I've been for a long time anyway. Just I'm going to do more, instead of doing things clinically, I'm doing more online. So for those people who are interested in the training classes and now even this weight loss support, I welcome you and reach out. Catch me now. Don't wait until I retire.